Just a lovely early evening in Townsville. We are here for the third last time this year. Just 3 home games remaining for the Cowboys. Their opponents here are the Newcastle Knights, who are on the back of consecutive wins. Mitchell Pearce's return has coincided with that, and he is here to lead them out tonight in a match that also marks the return of Kalen Ponga from a hamstring injury. No Connor Watson. He's been replaced by Jack Cogger, but certainly a lot of fans here tonight, here to see that man, the number 1 for the Knights.
Yeah, he puts bums on seats, Kalen Ponga. He's been outstanding for the Newcastle Knights this year. Back where it started, as you mentioned, Vossi.
Corey Parker, Brent Tate with me in commentary on this Friday night. Josh Hannay will be a special guest just after half-time. Man who was the second highest tally to this man, Jonathan Thurston, for the Cowboys in their history. As I say, the third last time at home for JT. On a night where he's closing in on moving to 3rd all-time in the point scorers record, Australian Premiership history. But just the 4 wins this year. And the battle of Pearce v Thurston, Corey. How do you see that?
Well, it's been going on for some time, as we see there. 318 to 248 NRL games, 2 premierships to Thurston, 1 to Pearce. Head-to-head wins, it's 4 apiece. And obviously the origin, well, Pearce wasn't on the end of some good times there over the last decade, but what a hell of a player he is. He's been outstanding also for the Knights.
Yeah, what a contrast. The 2 number 7s with that mountain of experience, and then the young players at 5'8 tonight. Jordan McLean returns, just his 5th game for the season. He was their biggest off-season recruit, and cut down by injury after round 4.
Good luck, boys.
Let Friday Night Rugby League get underway right here on Fox League. The only place you can watch both games. And the Knights versus the Cowboys. When they played last year, it was Kalen Ponga scoring 2 tries for the Cowboys as they won the round 8 battle here, 24 to 12. And Sean Kenny-Dowell, Newcastle first possession, scalps the last couple of weeks. They've beaten Parramatta. They've beaten the Gold Coast Titans, coming from 14 points down. They also found themselves down early against Parramatta. Here's another former Cowboy. Jacob Lilliman lost the ball and strippers the call. And the Knights will get on the front foot right here.
Spent a bit of time up here, Jacob Lilliman. He did in his early career. Earns his team their first penalty. The strip from Jason Taumalolo.
I think Jason was all that fussed about it. Cowboys have won the past 3 against the Knights. They've won 8 of the past 11. Those past 3 wins too, they've scored at least 24 points in each of those matches. Maybe that's a target to keep in mind tonight. Saifidi with a run. Newcastle, good position here. 22 metres away from the Cowboys line. Cogger in jump at 20. Pearce kicks early. Here comes SKD. Here comes Tamari Martin with a ball. And that's a great save by the North Queensland fullback, because he had to flash in to get the ball.
Well, it was a terrific heads-up play from Pearce on only the 2nd tackle. Tamari Martin does an excellent job to get across there. He's covered a lot of dirt. Sean Kenny-Dowell was there.
Wow. Wasn't he moving, Corey, when he got to the ball? I mean, he had to be.
It's an early shot across the bow.
Good stuff, Knights. Line drop out with Kyle Felt, fielded by Cogger. Into the side for Watson. Saifidi ready for another run. He's started where he left off last week with the 16 hit-ups and the 180 metres against the Titans. He's still on his short, and Lilliman onto his back. Good defence, Hess. Granville for the Cowboys. This is Pearce. Nice ball. Cogger. Then Fitzgibbon. He can score himself. There is a Knights try. Haven't they started with some real zing and some real zest? Any other Z words you want to think of? Fitzgibbon scores the opening 4-pointer.
Well, he scored a try last week, as did Fitzgibbon, but this is way too easy. It was a simple draw and pass there. Jonathan Thurston come in on Cogger, and the space between Thurston and his centre partner was way too wide. Kane Linnett it was. Some danger signs early for the Cowboys. That was way too easy. But you're right, Vossi. The Newcastle Knights, they've started with an enthusiasm and an energy.
And with that, Lachlan Fitzgibbon has matched his try tally of last year. In fact, he scored his first career try against the Cowboys round 13 in 2016. And now he's got 8 for the season, and over to Ken Seo to bang it over for a 6-0 lead. We'll hear from Brent Tate in just a moment. But those fans that have come along to cheer on the Cowboys tonight, a little stunned by that start. All the attack with the Knights. It is 6-0. Let's go down to the sideline. 4 minutes into the contest. Brent Tate, welcome.
Yeah, well, it is a fast start by the Knights, and they've obviously done their homework. The Dragons targeted a lot of their attack at the Cowboys' left edge last week and had some success. And here again, just as you said, Corey, way too easy. But what about the back row from the Knights? These young kids have got huge futures, Corey.
Yeah, they certainly do. They're homegrown products as well. Fitzgibbon and Barnett. They've really breakout years for the Knights this year. Both good try scorers as well.
Barnett got a double last week. Third time this year that the Knights have scored inside the first 3 minutes of a match. Felt with one of those wobbly ones to the corner. Ponga on the bounce. Saifiti, a forward leader tonight. Yet another run. Now Levi working right for Kenny Dowes. I think just following the same blueprint of the opening set of the match. Why not? They haven't achieved a hat-trick of wins consecutively at any time this season. No sign of Ord and Spoon for Newcastle in 2018. Pearce along and Ponga with it. Hess is onto his back. Granville there as well. Ponga 9 games in his time with the Cowboys in the NRL. Last tackle play. Pearce under pressure. Goes long. Tamare Martin underneath it. Himself, they've worked through some fullbacks, the Cowboys, this year. It's been a week where the Knights have been linked with players again and recruits coming to the club. What we know about the Cowboys, Corey Oates has been linked here. It's that time of year. But also a week where Antonio Winterstein announced his retirement, one of their grand final players from 3 years ago. McLean with the ball short of halfway. Granville. And along for Asiata, then for Thurston. On it came for young Clifford. Just a second match in his career alongside the great JT in game 318. Thurston put up that bomb. Ponga there with it. And the Knights are back in possession, 15 metres out from their own line. Seo comes in for a run. Looking at some try-scoring stats for the Cowboys. I mean, there's lots of statistics. Ponga's gone straight through. Don't worry about the stats. This bloke's almost untouchable. Barnett got the staggers and then loses the ball. Is there a sniper here? Barnett was sprinting through in support. In the back of scoring that double last week, and then all of a sudden, he had a grand piano on his back.
Well, he's been in scintillating form. There was a show and go there. Down that right edge, too easy, he's gone through. And Barnett just come up with a spill. Cole Felt able to track back and put a little bit of pressure on him.
Arms around.
Just shown the little show and go to Jake Clifford, who bought it, and he sliced right through.
I think the hamstring's okay, is my observation.
Yeah.
Kalen Ponga there.
But real concerns early for the Cowboys. Both edge defence have been split open in the opening 6 minutes of this game.
Straight away,
I've got to say, I watched their warm-up. I thought they looked really relaxed. Maybe, and I don't want to be that as a criticism, but they may be too relaxed. You know, the pressure's off as far as worrying about finals football, but the spoon beckons. They've got to pick up. Thurston's lost the ball there. And no advantage played, but North Queensland struggling to get out of second gear here.
Well, there's a nice little offload from Jordan McLean, who's been busy in his return. JT just coming up with a fumble there. Again, it's been a real concern, a real problem for the Cowboys this year. They sit last in the competition.
I'll just ask you, Corey, you would have been on deck for Antonio's NRL debut when he was at Brisbane?
Yeah, he's been a fantastic player, Antonio. Started at Brisbane before heading up north. Represented his country, played in 2 grand finals, won a grand final. But the Cowboys, they sit last in the competition. 73% is their average for completion rate, and they're just struggling again here early.
Well, that is one of the stats. Best completion rate in the comp, Newcastle, versus the worst completion rate, Cowboys. In the pre-game statistics. Now another penalty.
Yep, he's good to go.
And the quick tap
Go
taken
10.
by
Run
Levi.
10.
Pushing away from Asiata. I like it. Why not? You got the first try on the board. It is all going the Knights' way. Why not go for the maximum reward? Back there for Guerra. Thrown down in the tackle of Tal Malolo, but you can sense more points if they hold the ball. Pearson Ponga just holds it up. Barnett almost through. He's lost the ball in the Clifford tackle, and would have found a penalty in all of that.
He's so dangerous out on that left edge. That's his favourite side, Kalen Ponga. Finds a short ball here. Commits 2 defenders, gets a quick play of the ball. In doing so, Jake Clifford just gets tied up.
I think you're entitled to hang on to the ball there, aren't you? How much would he lift in the gym? Jake Clifford just barely touched the ball and it's come loose. Barnett's with the ball now. 9 metres away from the Cowboys line, but they are really on their heels, the home side here. The problems of 2018 have been borne out in the 9.5 minutes we're seeing of this one. Levi with the ball, and there it is. A turnstile, in fact, not even a turnstile there, an open gate to go through and score. And I'll say it again, the Cowboys, well, it's a throwaway line. They haven't turned up. They have not turned up here tonight.
Well, as we see the knock-on or the penalty that was given that started this repeat set for the Knights. And this here, Vossi, is absolutely awful. John Asiata way too wide at a defender. Jake Granville gets held up. That's their 24th try through that middle third with some really, really good players. A real lack in intent and urgency, particularly on their goal line.
Ooh, gee, that's on the embarrassing side. That try scored in such a fashion there. Guerra gets it. How can you not miss a tackle on your line? No one got a hand to him from 5 metres out.
Well, sometimes when you're in a rut, and the Cowboys definitely are, you start looking left and right. As soon as something goes wrong, no one puts a hand up and takes accountability.
They've completed one set through the opening 11 minutes. First time this year, I think the Knights have scored a couple of tries inside this period of time. Brent Tate on the sideline.
Well, boys, I'm just looking at the Cowboys running back here for the kickoff, and their energy and body language, it is right down. There must be a real concern for Paul Green up in the box. But then I flick to the Knights and look at their attack and have Mitchell Pearce on one side and Kalen Ponga, the way he plays up, not the traditional fullback role, but almost like a first and second receiver on that left-hand side. He is such a threat.
Yeah, you're spot on, Tatey. The Cowboys ambled back then as if it was 8 minutes to go in the game. We've only been going for 11 minutes, Vossi.
All right, let's go into the next passage of play. Let's see if they can spike up a little here. And as has been the case from the 2 previous kickoffs, it's Saifidi take the first one. Kenny Dow comes in to take the second. And they work off that platform. 2 really strong runs. And that's where it all starts. He's a machine tonight. The big fella in the jumper number 10 for Newcastle. This is nice and direct back to the 40-metre line. They're following the script. Levi and Lilliman, one of those that will retire at the end of the season. Jacob, away for Pearce. Kick down to Martin, and it got a bit big on him. 8 metres out from his own line. Look at the chase. They're all there for Newcastle. It is alarming, the contrast in energy of the two sides at this point. But look at the possession flow. Newcastle have had 80% of the ball, 8 of 10 completion rate. The Cowboys 1 of 3. Linnett off first in that time. There's Granville, Ziata. Missed a lot of football this year with that pec injury, as did Linnett. Away, Clifford dropping it off there to Hess. Good low tackle. Saifiti, quick play the ball on the short side. Clifford, not quite how he wanted to strike it. It's hit the grass. Now it's tapped back by Hess. Taumalolo along for Cooper. Pushes along for Linnett. Linnett further along for O'Neill. The ball goes through to the in goal. And back there is Cogger, sliding into the fence.
Well, they have a bit of luck here, the Cowboys. Kalen Ponga allowing that to bounce as they go past the pass out to this left edge. Justin O'Neill, I thought off the foot. It was a little bit too hard, but the kind bounce from the football gives the Cowboys their first opportunity in this match.
Well, here's a stat for you through the first 13 and a half minutes. Taumalolo's yet to have a hitter. This is the man who's run, well, last week, clicked over the 3,000-metre mark. Cooper calls this one out. And here comes Jason, doesn't get the ball. Time for the Cowboys to come alive in this one. And they will get a penalty. Well, the whistle's
when you're ready,
back in
Jake,
vogue
go,
tonight. Granville takes the tap. Not sure if the Knights were back 10. Granville helps himself to a 15-metre gain. 10 away from the line. Asiata, Thurston, big switch. Clifford, Taumalolo there. Into a bear hug of Saifiti in front of the Knights post, and another penalty now. Well,
Right there.
you can't tell me this is being refereed like Origin and other games recently.
There was some strong contact from Saifiti over the top as McLean takes a charge.
Now we've had 6 penalties in 15 minutes. Run around, Granville off Asiata. Thurston, here comes the chance. Here comes the Knights defence. Here comes Cohen Hess. And they've managed to deny him there. There's a few the worse for wear there. Pearce has been split. Oh yeah, it's a bad one for Mitchell Pearce. It is gushing out from above the left eye.
Nice little set play from the Cowboys targeting that left edge. That's their most efficient side for the Knights in 2018. They're the worst in the NRL. He just cops a bit of friendly fire there, I think, as does Mitch Pearce.
Oh, wow.
See straight away, bit of claret.
I think he copped it front and back on the head, to be honest.
Won't help his good looks.
Now, the crowd getting a little restless, but this is the process we have to follow. Don't know whether he needs a jersey change as well, but I think that is a possibility. First of 2 games on this Friday night on Fox League. We will watch the giant-killing Tigers again tonight. How will they fare against Canterbury, having put paid to the Dragons in South Sydney? You won't want to miss that one. Let's go down to the sideline. Brett Tate, a comment on the Cowboys' attack.
Yeah, Vossi, one thing the Cowboys have done this year, they've played a real flat attack, and I think when they get deep and bring Cohen Hess on the ball like that with Jonathan Thurston at the back, they look so much more dangerous. So the Cowboys, for me, need to get some more depth in attack.
So Cowboys with Thurston and off for McLean there. A disappointment how little football he has played this season. And now another penalty. They're happening very quickly here.
Mitchell, no more now. Just wait.
So that's the warning for a sin bin, even though they've conceded less penalties than the Cowboys have. Go figure. McLean with a run. 4-3 is the penalty count. Lillyman there in defence. Granville back for Thurston. Thurston on for the skillful Asiata. Levi, Saifiti, Guerra, all in defence. 12-0 to the Knights, maybe not for long. Ponga onto the back of Granville there with Bunnett. Now Clifford, Taumalolo, one straight at them. They have to hang on. 4 defenders on the big JT in the Cowboys side. Away with Asiata. Cooper, great tackle. That came from Fitzgibbon. Last play, Cowboys, Thurston, Martin O'Neill from the corner. Ponga's there, Sione Mataudia's there, and the Cowboys are denied.
It was terrific cover defence from Mataudia. Ponga got across also. There's little slick hands down the short side. Mataudia goes low, Ponga comes over the top, and O'Neill goes into touch. It was an ordinary set of 6, to be fair, from the Cowboys. They had 4 one-up runners. Only really asked a question on that play there.
Good stuff, wasn't it? Right in the corner. The Knights, they remain switched on. That second game of our Friday night doubleheader, Canterbury versus the West Tigers. First game that Moses Mbai will have played against his former club. But again, it is a battle of Benji Marshall against Jeremy Marshall-King. Second time for the season. Tigers won the previous battle this year, 14 points to 10.
He showed great pace to Murray Martin get across there. It was an early 40-20 attempt. It was online.
He's always been a talent. He's a New Zealand international, but need to fill in at fullback here. Oh, the ball's been lost now. Oh, and goal. Well, Cole Felt, I don't know, I thought he lost it.
Wait.
And the late call has seen Fitzgibbon.
We've had 4 penalties. Danny
Levi.
We've had 4 penalties in the ruck. I told you down there.
First yardage penalty we've had in yardage.
Mate, I told you Mitch, I told you we needed to clean it up down there. It's the very next set.
Well, who's going to the sin bin? Levi's still out there.
Levi has been told, just making his way very slowly to the sideline.
Well, this is a farce. Danny Levi isn't even walking a straight line to the sideline. I mean, have a look at this. See, for mine, he's off for good. He's got to go. Come on. You're taking the you-know-what here, Danny. You're a terrific young player, but you can't go off that way. That's a disgrace.
He ran up the tunnel.
Come on. We're a professional sport. We've got to do better than that. Cowboys have the ball from the restart. Well, what happens on the next penalty now? I don't know. Our officials may have made a rod for their own back in this one now. Asiata, again, I repeat, the penalty count, the Knights have still had 4 penalties. Clean to play up 21 metres out from the Knights line. Still 12-0. Granville, Taumalolo. That's a good shot. Barnett. Taumalolo. Granville out of dummy half. Asiata, Thurston. Is there an overlap? There is now. It's out to O'Neill. He'll get there this time with a swan dive to score. Nicely constructed try, but keep in mind the Knights are playing 1 man short.
Straight away, the Cowboys hit back, and they needed to do so. The work from Asiata and Taumalolo over on that right edge. Jake Granville went down that right side, worked out that he had to come back. A little run around between Cooper and Thurston, left O'Neill posted out by himself, and a clear run to the line. They needed to hit back there, the Cowboys. They've done so in the first minute of Levi leaving the field.
Been lean pickings for Cowboys backline players this year, with the exception of Kyle Felt. O'Neill gets over. for only his second try of the season. And there's some pretty meagre tallies elsewhere as well. His first try, in fact, was in round 1 this year against the Sharks. He's had to wait till round 20 to get his second. If you take Felt out of it, there's only 5 tries between players 1 through 7 in the Cowboys side. Thurston from his favoured left touchline. Have a look at that. We're going to miss you, JT. He's closing in on 900 career goals. That one was 897 of his career in the NRL. Tate on the sideline. Cowboys will feel a little better about things now.
Oh, they will, Vossi, and won't we miss JT and watching that ball curl around on the sideline when he kicks them like that. Just one thing on Jake Granville, is such a difference he makes to this Cowboys attack when he actually gets out and runs the ball. We haven't seen it enough this year. We've seen it in patches, but when he does that, it completely transforms this Cowboys attack.
Restart of play with the Knights, with Denny Levi off in the bin. And the Cowboys almost make an absolute meal of that in goal. Taumalolo gets it and is only a metre into the field of play. Not enough. Oh, no! And then Asiata drops it. Goodness gracious me. I hope the window's locked where Paul Green's watching from. The Knights have got the ball in front of the posts with 12 men. Now Pearce back inside. Guerra's already got a try tonight. They will threaten big time here. Cowboys needing to aim up. SA to play it, and there's a penalty this time. Well, hang on.
Not quick there. Far too slow here, mate.
Well, when did it expire for the Cowboys, the warning?
Well, you think Newcastle Knights will take the 2 here and wind down the clock as much as they can.
Doesn't matter.
2 points? Yep.
Which they do. But again, the Cowboys shooting themselves in the foot after points. As we see, this is a penalty that was given away. McLean, who's been busy the start of this return game for him. He's had 7 runs for 55 metres. But their own worst enemy. Immediately after points, second run, turn the ball over.
Back up.
Matt Scott, first game back since round 14 against Parramatta. So he'll come back out. And it had been a good news week for the Cowboys with Scott and McLean to come back in. Seemed pretty positive. But the start was ice cold. And now over to CO to kick the Knights back 8 in front. Time has been blown off, so likewise the sin bin clock stops as well. It is game time that he's off for. And CO successful. He's got 3 goals for the night. First game here on this Friday evening on Fox League has Newcastle 14 leading North Queensland 6. Not just a 5-game losing streak in the premiership for the Cowboys, they've also lost 5 games straight at home. Their record here in front of their faithful fans this year is 2-7.
Stay behind, boys.
Haven't won since round 7 at home against the Titans. Before that, it was round 1 against the Sharks. Kyle Felt. Here goes a Kyle Felt special. Down it comes. Ponga was there. And SA takes the job that Saifiti had earlier tonight in bringing the ball back. And you know the drill. Sean Kenny-Dow's there for the second one. Big enough to play in the back row. And a quick play the ball as well. Well done, Sean. Cogger steals 12 metres as a result. Halfway through the set. This Knights side, I don't know whether the mathematicians can work out a way they could make the 8, but at the very least they want to finish the season strongly. Last play it is right on halfway. And Cogger away to Pearce. It's another high one. Martin calls for it. He's had a good night so far. Spiral pass across to Felt.
Thanks, Max.
Okay, off that ball.
And that's where the set begins on their 20, the Cowboys. Nari Tuala back there with a run.
Off that arm now, square.
For the year for Tuala. Now Linnett back up to the 40. Granville. And Clifford off with Hess, channeling back in field. The afternoon for the club. They had the old boys playing a game, an exhibition match earlier, and then an old boys guard of honour. Last play, Thurston drifts over to the left side. They don't find him though. It's Martin who'll kick. Thurston, in fact, is leading the chase with Ponga to get underneath it, and Ponga's got it. Cowboys players ended up past the ball.
It hung up in the air quite well, that kick. Ponga come up with a good take in the end. We see in the replay box, Cooper was there. Thurston had gone past it, as you said.
That effort and not then challenged for the ball is a bit odd. And here goes the footwork of Ponga through the centre. Short side play going close to the sideline here. Barnett somehow got a pass away and play on as a result. SASA with it. Last tackle for the 12-man Knights. Levi in the sin bin. And they will want to get it out of play. That's what they do. They read the situation. A set after the penalty goal that has taken them 80 metres upfield.
And that man there on screen come up with a terrific kick. Buys his team a bit of time. He's been electric. Been out of the game for a couple of weeks for a hamstring. Again, his footwork, line break. That's his second line break down through that right edge. Jake Clifford will be having nightmares. And then to back it up with a nice little kick over the sideline. In total control at the moment.
Down.
Wait here. Don't go
Beat
early.
it.
Don't go early.
Catch.
A little bit of time and now absorbed for Levi's stint in the sin bin. Knights will hope that they can defend this set. Maybe even force another mistake from the Cowboys, who are, well, they've steadied. They're 8 of 12, their completion rate. Getting it back towards 50% share of possession. They've dropped a few inside their own half. That's been the problem. Bolton now on. McLean has got through his stint on return. 13 tackles and 7 hit-ups. They're pretty impressive numbers. Granville with the ball, and Scott is in support. Bounces away from one. That was Barnett. Pulled him downfield. Last tackle, Clifford kicking right for the corner. And Ponga has it covered, though. So Kalen Ponga with the ball. Geez, you're talking young stars. Clifford coming through the NYC system. Player of the year last year, now getting his chance in first grade. Ponga actually made the NYC team of the year last year for the matches that he played, having made an NRL debut the previous season.
He's a wonderful talent, Jake Clifford. In just his second game, he's got a lot to learn, but he'll be a long-term halfback. Once the great JT leaves for the Cowboys, I've got no doubt.
Good play on the previous by Nathan Ross. Wera, another good set. When you're down a man, Cogger with dummy half duties, and now Pearce bends it back to the centre of the park, and O'Neill is with it. The Cowboys try scorer. Levi gets ready to come back on. I bet he runs back on quicker than he walked off. North Queensland looking to go through the centre with Felt. Now Linnett follows up. Kane Linnett with the ball. Over the 40. Levi is back on. The full complement out there for Newcastle. Thurston still running at the line. The grunt man, Taumalolo, on this rumble forward. 12 minutes remaining in the first half. And a last tackle play for the Cowboys. Thurston along to Clifford. I'm not sure about that kick. It's a poke over the top and nothing more. Must have been in two minds, the kick that he ended up with there. Now back with Kalen Ponga. There's Cowboys home matches after this one. They've got the clash with the Broncos in a couple of weeks' time, always big. Their final home game will be round 24. All being well, fitness-wise, that will be Thurston's last game at home, and Parramatta are the opponents. Last play for the Knights. Levi to Pearce. They're getting Weira off in back play. It's out of the full. Little turning point for the Cowboys in the first half.
He's their indicator, Mitchell Pearce. On 5th play, he's been so good this year with his kicking game. Not so good there. This is a great opportunity for the Cowboys. There's some players bent over, hands on hips for the Cowboys. They'll have to regroup.
Bolton caught by Jamie Buhrer, now out there. King is also there, and he was involved in that previous tackle. As a Clifford, he had Tuala in support. Couple of rookies there side by side. Now Hess on to Tuala. He's almost up to the 20. 12-0 early. It could have been anything if the Cowboys stayed in neutral as it goes across to Thurston and then to Taumalolo. Trademark run over the top of Levi. Grenville, Thurston, his old mate Cooper's there. Can't offload. Testing the Knights' defence. Martin, Thurston, last play, kick, maybe little deflection. Flashing across is Pearce. Oh, Mitchell Pearce, great play.
There's an excellent play from Pearce. First to read the play and then to get it. It was a little deflection, as you mentioned, Vossi.
Tackle turn. Go 10,
Jason.
He had to throw his body into it. That was Levi. Oh, boy, isn't that going to leave a mark on the chest. And then the kick, yes, it was a deflection off SASA, and have a look at that from Mitchell Pearce.
Point them over, mate. Easy one.
Makes such a difference to the footy side. He's got cuts everywhere. One on the left cheek, one above the left brow.
Just there, Mitch.
They may have to mummify him to stop the bleeding here. Mitchell Pearce, I think you're right. I think he's got about 3 cuts on that head. Talking, he'll come out in the second half and you'll only be able to see his eyes. Bulldogs Tigers to come up as our second match on a Friday night here on Fox League. Our retro round. SASA with the ball for the Knights.
Thanks, Jason and Scott.
A reminder that our guest after halftime in commentary, Josh Hannay, will join us. He was there. He was on deck. That 2004 famous finals match. And the Cowboys beat the Broncos for the first time. Corey Parker, late starter for Gordon Tallis in Gordon's last game. And up they come, Leonard and Cogger. Almost cleaned him up. In fact, he's got him for shoulder charge.
Hey! Kane.
Well, he certainly shut off the line there, Kane Leonard.
Shoulder charge. While you're here, clean your discipline up. You're not going to like it, clean it up.
Your discipline up. Well, serious.
Boys, if that's a shoulder charge, I don't know. I was going to say give the game away, but I've already done it, Corey.
And I remember that game, Vossi, 2004. That was Gordon Tallis' very last game. He was our starting back rower. And I actually replaced him. We thought it was a good idea to take that semi-final from Brisbane up to Townsville.
Yes.
And the results didn't go our way.
Knocked you over for the first time. Ben Eichen was the starting hooker as well. Corey Parker. The 13. Back to the action here, and this is Levi on to Cogger. Stepping back towards the post. Buhra's on the end of that. Cowboys defence will be put to the test again. Pearce is with the ball. Ponga's there. Barnett. Sandwiching tackle. That was a strong effort. Tuala and Clifford, the 2 rookies, still on. It's a SA for Pearce. It's a one-man job to stop him there. Taumalolo Fourth tackle for the Knights. They set up right. Cogger delivers. Fitzgibbon strides through Thurston and past Lennon. He's got a try double. He's an impressive back rower. Lachlan Fitzgibbon.
Well, they had some success in the first half in the opening exchanges, and again here it's a very similar play. Ponga out the back just held some numbers, but just a poor read in defence between, able to split Thurston and Leonard. Such a wonderful young talent is Fitzgibbon. But their goal line defence tonight, and I'm not going to harp on it, but all season has not been up to speed. Some very, very experienced players out on this left-hand edge for the Cowboys.
Yeah, well, there is a stat produced by the Fox Sports Lab that shows the Cowboys conceding a try every 9 tackles they have to defend inside their 20. Their opponents come up with a 4-pointer. Now tonight, the Knights have actually only had 13 tackles inside the Cowboys 20 and have scored 3 tries. Certainly the second one was the worst of them, the one that Guerra just strolled through.
In NRL standard, they've all been pretty poor, to be fair. Yes, in the Knights, full credit to them, they've run some good lines.
Five minutes remaining in his first half. We'll find it amazing that we might end up with a penalty count that is a 2-to-1 ratio at half-time, and yet the team that's had conceded half the penalties has actually had a man in the bin. Over to Kenny Seo, and not for a professional foul, for repeated infringements. Seo wanting it to slide right, and it slides away left. 18 points to 6. Newcastle leading the Cowboys. Brent Tate down on the sideline. Fitzgibbon has a try double. He's a good back rower.
Oh, he's a great back row. He runs a great line. And again, I just go back to the homework that they've done last week. The Dragons just aimed so much of their attack at Thurston, this left edge of the Cowboys. And tonight, it's worked wonders for the Knights.
The science of Kyle Felt's kickoff restarts. Let's watch this one. Boy, he gets some height. Ponga waits for it and waits and waits for it. So SA has been good since coming on. Salafidi started the big work tonight with his 7 hit-ups when he was on the field, and now Herman's done 8 of his own. It's good stuff from the front rowers for Newcastle. He's just pushing along there.
They're very much in sync, aren't they, the Newcastle Knights? After every set after points.
Ponga's got away again and offloaded, but Ross has put it down. They're saying touched by the Cowboys, or certainly that's what the Knights are claiming, hoping that the sideline officials saw it. He's aghast, Nathan Ross.
This time here, Matt Scott finds himself out of that 4 defender. That's a green flag to Kalen Ponga. Little show and go, splits him, finds Barnett. Why wouldn't you? I'm not sure what the Ross dogs complaining about, Bossy. What a sight to see, Kalen Ponga.
Head in now, down, time on, walk off.
Just get the feeling in this game, I heard Brent Tate speak before the game, as the Cowboys come up with another error.
Cooper lost it. First tackle from the scrum. Knights are all in there. Have a look at them.
Tatey was saying before the game that, you know, it was a shame to see Kalen Ponga go, and they'd love to see him in Cowboys colours, and hopefully he doesn't come back and bite him too hard tonight. Well, he's certainly going that way about it at the minute.
Let's get 6 up here, fellas.
It's one of the great hypotheticals. Why didn't they use him more last year? Kalen Ponga didn't become a star in one off-season training with the Newcastle Knights. I just wonder if they had used him more last year, and he did make the NYC Team of the Year. What sort of threat would the Cowboys have been to Melbourne come grand final day with a young fella in this sort of attacking form running off Michael Morgan?
It's a very good question, Bossy.
I know he was leaving the club, but it's probably a question worth asking. King driven back there. SASA with it. What a good pickup he's been for them. Now Pearce, and they line up again. Ponga almost lost it there. That enabled Tuala to get up in his face and get strong. 20 metres away from the line. 2.5 minutes remaining in this first half. Our first game on a Friday night on Fox League. Cogger out to Matautia. Oh, he was hit by O'Neill. The kitchen sink. And I think he threw part of the toilet in too. Everything he could find in the bathroom and the kitchen, he threw at him. Pearce with the ball. Is a bomb between fullback and winger. Felt owns the catch. And they're back in possession, North Queensland. Martin to bring it back. They will hope that that's the last of the Knights' attacking raids for the first half. 18-6 you can manage, but if it got out to 18 points the difference going to the break, I don't fancy the Cowboys' chances based on what we've seen this year.
Yeah, well, they've lost all 13 games, Vossi, when they're behind at half-time, the Cowboys, so they'll be hoping for a massive second half.
Scott, little flick, and scooped up and along for Cooper. Got it off Hampton, who's, oh no, Cooper's had another shocker. Gavin Cooper, my goodness, one of their most experienced players. 200 and, what is it, 79th game or thereabouts.
Game clock
His error count tonight, not good.
Let's go, stand up and stay in position.
Bossy, I was just about to say, if the Cowboys go in at half-time at 18-6, it's almost a great result for them, the way they've played, the ball control that they've played with. But a huge minute coming up for them now.
Yes, indeed.
Tomorrow, he's on your team, though.
Ponga is down in back play at the moment.
He's just getting a bit of pickle juice, I think. That's to help with cramps, Vossi.
All right.
So they tell me.
So it's a pickle juice stoppage for a moment. We've got the pickle juice clock on him. And the Knights, they get this one last chance. And look, if it doesn't come right off, maybe if they get close enough, Pearce might even slot over a one-pointer to take it out to 19-6. They're 30 metres away. SASA with a ball. Defence held its line. Fensom down low. He doesn't miss too many. Pearce with it again. Out the back, Cogger. On it came with Matautia. Half a minute left in this first half. And a penalty.
Play on.
The quick tap from Levi. Well, we have almost got that 2-1 penalty count. A real anomaly. From dummy half is Cogger. Well, there's a wasted tackle. Still a chance for Newcastle. 18-6. Pearce with the ball. Thought about kicking. Ponga's now got it. He does kick. They've got it covered. Oh, no! The ball is lost and then hacked over the dead ball line. Even the security guard dropped the ball at the back. It's been that sort of night for the Cowboys. 18 points to 6. I think Brent Tate summed it up. That's about the best possible result for North Queensland. The Knights on top here. Friday night Rugby League on Fox. And it is Newcastle 18, leading North Queensland 6. Second half underway off the boot of Ken Seo. Josh Hannay joining us in commentary, an assistant coach with the Cowboys, also an assistant with the Queensland Origin side this year. Could say you're having a good year, Josh, but anyway, Cowboys are in possession on their 20. And will want to get straight into this contest. You stood beside and you're in the box with Paul Green in the first half. What was his main criticism of the Cowboys?
Oh, we were soft in that first half. There's no other way to put it, Bossy. The tries Newcastle scored were extremely soft, and our defence needs to stiffen up in this second half, and we need to start controlling the ball a lot better as well.
Hampton taking off there. He met his maker in the form of Bureau. Two players with 14 on their back. Bureau went on with the tackle and no penalty there. Night for the Cowboys, where Jordan McLean has returned from injury, and Matt Scott likewise. Bolton went on that run. High pass through the hands of Clifford, fielded by Martin. It is the last tackle, and he's able to steady and get a kick in. But it's down the throat of Sean Kenny-Dowell. And the Knights have possession. Josh Hannay, 150 games in your career with the Cowboys, 49 tries in that time as well. We mentioned in the first half, we're moving out of the 90s, but you were part of that final here in 2004. That must have been a career highlight.
Yeah, it certainly was, Vossi. It was probably a landmark evening for the club. We'd never been able to beat the Brisbane Broncos up until that point. So that, that night, for many reasons, obviously being our first semi-final series in the NRL, but to knock the Brisbane Broncos off here that night in front of a really parochial crowd lives long in the memories of us players who were there that night, but I think also the fans who were here that night as well.
Absolutely. Cowboys 15 metres out from their own line. We've heard right from the coalface what Paul Green thought of the first half. Tatey, what about from the Knights side of things?
Yeah, well, Nathan Brown, the message was pretty simple. He just said more of the same. He did stress to them that their second half starts haven't been great. So he just stressed the fact that this second half they need to start well. It's crucial for them. If they do that, they win the game.
Now pushed along by Clifford on the Hess. An amazing statistic of these two sides in their second half form this year. The Knights have actually conceded the most second half points in the NRL. The Cowboys have scored the fewest. So you go work out what's going to happen from this point. Might be 0-all the second half. Last tackle, and Thurston kicking. Ponga is waiting. He gets a clean take. And the Knights players, Matautia, went rolling past him. Kenny-Dowell's had plenty of touches tonight. That's his 13th run of the evening. No player has carried the ball more for Newcastle.
It's important at the moment that the Cowboys just stay with the Knights. They're at 65% in that first half of their ball control. They're going to make it tough on themselves. We see the Knights down the left edge. A forward pass. They'll have a great opportunity at this set to either post some points or really start to mount some pressure, something that they failed to do in that first half.
Something that does happen, Josh, through a tough season. A couple of young fellas finding their feet in first grade, and I speak of on this right side, Anari Tuala and young Jake Clifford in only his second match. You excited about their potential?
Yeah, great young talents. Learned a bit of a lesson in that first half, I think, with the the urgency and the intensity required to play at NRL level. They were caught out a few times on that right side, just not urgent enough defensively. So that's part of their development, though Vossi, and there's going to be some growing pains, and we certainly think that they're going to be long-term players for the club.
Ball ended up in the hands of O'Neill. There was probably a question mark on the ball that Thurston threw, and Cooper is with it now. He's inside the 30. So they have the field position. The Cowboys, they're completing at 13 of 19. Here's another penalty conceded by the Knights. At 18-6, and the tap is taken, and Fetsum ready to run. Caught there by King and Bura.
Don't hold him. Go.
The Knights' defence needs to hold on here. They don't want to give the Cowboys a stiff. Hess with the ball running off Scott. That was promising. Exactly what the home fans wanted to see. Now we've got another penalty.
Well, quick one. No. Wait.
There's three in a row. You know where I'm going. There has to be caution, doesn't there? There was in the first half. Now Scott with the ball. He's in front of the upright. The drums are beating. Hampton away. Bolton dummy and run. But not all that effective there. SASA and King are the defenders. Right side, Clifford takes a run at them. Pearce had to put his body on the line there with Barnett and the Rostock. Slow play the ball for Hampton. Fensum gets it. And the defence converge on him. That's the fourth tackle now. With Hampton, run around with Scott. JT wants it, he's got it. It's put down by Cooper again. Gavin Cooper is having a nightmare.
Well, he came up with a couple errors in that first half, as did Gavin Cooper. The Cowboys there just being too cute. Just need some good, hard, direct running. Challenge the defence of the Newcastle Knights, then get on the keep going and ask some questions. They love coming off a point, the Cowboys. They get to a scrum line, they ask you, but they're not asking enough questions. And there's one key indicator, and that's Thurston. Easy pickings at the moment for the Knights on their goal line.
Okay, clock off. Stay in, stay in.
And Corey, from mine, there's too many forwards getting their hand on the ball, one off the ruck. I'd rather see Jonathan Thurston or Jake Clifford get the ball with some width and go at the line instead of the forwards getting in the way.
Well, we've seen often in 2018, Tatey, the Cowboys are a lay-and-play side. What I mean by that is they just find a point and then they play off the back of it. At times this year when they've looked most dangerous, when they've actually just been playing ad-lib footy or catch-up footy.
Now Barnett's lost it. Sorry, Corey.
They're going to get another opportunity here through an error.
Wait there, wait there. Okay, all up now.
Well, perhaps we can talk about happier times now. Josh, had you moved to Townsville in time for the first game back in 1995, the first big night, Cowboys v Canterbury?
No, I was watching that game from the living room at home in Moranbah, Vossi. But, you know, a famous night for the club, obviously. And I moved up at the end of that year as a 15-year-old to you know, begin my career with the club and spent 10 great years here from that point on. But that initial night here back in 95 was a famous one, no doubt.
Thurston pushing along the limit. Among the old boys here tonight was Adrian Vowles, who was an Origin player at the time and set off inside 5 minutes of the Cowboys' first game.
An inauspicious debut there.
12 metres away from the line. Martin for Thurston. The playmakers get their hands on the ball early that time. Bolton again. And King able to wrap his arms around the ball with Fitzgibbon. Same deal for the Cowboys. They need to come up with the first points in their second half. Thurston with it. Hess not done all that crisply there. The Cowboys quicker play the ball. Hampton, Bolton, Thurston. Oh, Bolton! W run. Look out for the post. Bolton has worked his way in goal, but he's been held up. No post to contend with, and he still couldn't get it down.
What's that?
I've got no try, but just check that it didn't swipe the ground as it got rolled over.
Yeah, cool. Chids, tackle 5, mate.
Scott Bolton's
No
not claiming a try. He doesn't get
Just make
too
sure he
many.
doesn't ground that ball at all, mate, at the start.
He did a terrific job to find himself over the line. Bolton and Fitzgibbon.
Looking to determine whether Scott Bolton gets the ball to the ground.
I've got to ask a question. That's Henry Perinara half a metre away, and he's taken the advice of the pocket. He's taken the advice of the pocket referee to say it may have swiped the ground.
Calm down, Vossi.
I'm just making a point. And I'm just a little surprised by that. There we go.
Scott Bolton is held up.
The pocket referee must have X-ray vision. He must be Superman.
So on tackle 5, yeah. Thanks.
If I had X-ray vision, I wouldn't waste it on the pick and rugby league tries.
It was a promising set, though, from the Cowboys. They created some ruck speed on play one. Their halves then got on the ball, as Tatey mentioned. Want to see their halves get their hands on the ball a lot more.
Scott,
No try, Corey.
make sure it's with your foot, okay? Wait for the whistle. Jamie, fine. Wait there. Make sure we're locked in at markers here. On the whistle. With your foot, Scott.
So, Cowboys have possession. Thurston pokes it through to the end goal. Good weight on it. And the Knights will concede the line dropout. They had bodies everywhere to cover up there, but a little bit of pressure building up from the home side.
It was a good end to set there for the Cowboys. The momentum had been halted from the hold-up in goal. Jonathan Thurston put a little left foot dab in.
What's the focus from here for the rest of the season, Josh, for the coaching staff? I mean, you probably wanted to reboot the season plenty of times, but now this is it. There's only a handful of games.
Well, when you get to this position, Vossi, it becomes about pride, really. Finals well and truly out of the picture. We need to make sure we finish the season in the right note and certainly, you know, get some pride out of the back end of this season.
Thurston along to Matt Scott. 150-game Cowboy Josh Hannay in the box with us here on Fox League after half-time. Hampton now switching back for Thurston. A straight flat ball, or straight runner on a flat ball is Cooper. Fitzgibbon was there to stop him. Now Bolton and Hampton for Thurston. Inside for Martin. Nicely executed there, but likewise the defence of Ponga and Barnett. Thurston again, he's asking questions. Hess will score. Hess goes over. The build-up of pressure has culminated in points for the Cowboys.
And that's the difference. Jonathan Thurston gets his hands on the ball 3 times in that set. Nothing fancy about what they were doing, but what they're able to do is find Cohen Hess and isolate him one-on-one close to the line. We know how dangerous he is. And the Cowboys, they have some life.
Well, Josh, a message coming through from Paul Green. He's saying, can you stay in here? Because that may have turned things around. But can I just ask to finish, enjoying life after football? I mean, you're still very heavily involved with the Cowboys. We saw you alongside Kevin Walters' Origin this year. This is your life, the coaching side of things?
Certainly for now, yeah, really enjoying it. You know, I'm just thankful to still be involved in the game. It's all I know, rugby league, and to still be involved in some capacity is enjoyable, and yeah, I feel very grateful. And the Maroon stuff with Kevy this year was a buzz. I thought it was really important that we got something out of the series in that 3rd game, and you know, for me personally, it just capped off what was a wonderful experience and gives us something to sort of launch into next year's series with, I think.
The kid from Moranbah, Townsville Grammar, Cowboys hero. Thanks for joining us on Fox League tonight.
Thanks, guys. Josh
Hannay here on Fox League as JT lines up a kick from 10 metres in from touch. 22 metres out. Jeez, you'd need some massive swing on that. He's pushed that way right. 18 points to 10.
They'll be able to take some confidence out of that, the Cowboys. The Knights were asked to do back-to-back sets. They found themselves over the try line. There's a bit of life back in the Cows.
Well, that's the thing, that they have to be aware of those stats, that the Knights have conceded the most second-half points this year. If you can just control a bit of ball, keep going at them. That's the Cowboys' run home. What of those games will they win? Roosters, Broncos, Sharks, then Eels for JT's last home game, and then Gold Coast in round 25. I don't know, well, look, quite obviously they're going to be massive underdogs against the Roosters, Broncos and Sharks. I think they have to win tonight. I'm serious, Corey. I think they have to win tonight to avoid being absolute prime contenders for the Wooden Spoon.
Unfortunately, they are in the hunt with a race for it.
Because if they lose tonight, it's 6 straight losses. Then if they didn't win any of their next 3, that would be 9 straight losses going into their last home game of the season. Anyway, that's all ahead. There's plenty of time for them here. 28 minutes to go, 18-10. And Bolton, another run for him. Denied a try before Hess eventually got over. And now Clifford on to Hess. Hard running. Barnett's getting through a lot of tackles for the Knights. Fitzgibbon and Barnett are the 2 leading defenders for them. Leonard sends O'Neill on his way. Right down the left wing. Going for Thurston. The All Blacks. Thurston wins the race to the ball. There's a pulse. There's a heartbeat still here. Do they need to check if he's onside? They won't. Check it with a bunker. Thurston scores for North Queensland.
He doesn't know any other way, Jonathan Thurston. What a shame he's retiring this year. He comes up with a wonderful pass here. Across the face of Tamare Martin. Finds Leonard onto O'Neill, and there's a terrific kick from O'Neill. And who's there? Little Johnny Thurston. Refuses to give up. We had Josh Hannay, the assistant coach of the Cowboys, in here just before. You asked him, Vossi, what's there left to play for? He said pride. This man here, Jonathan Thurston, epitomises what it means to never give up. Heard Brent Tate talk before the game. On his day off this week, it's been a horrible year for the Cowboys. On his day off this week, he was here doing extras. He has 5 games remaining in his career. He has no right to turn up and do extras, but he knows no different.
And he now moves to outright 4th on the Cowboys' all-time try scorers list. Going into tonight, he needed 17 points to pass Andrew Johns into 3rd position in the premiership point-scoring records. And with this one, that he curls right to left, he's now got a points tally going tonight that if the Cowboys finish strongly, you don't know, he might go past Joey this evening.
Well, something's clicked with the Cowboys in the last 5 minutes. Their attack has been a lot more crisp. The passes have stuck. They've been out the front. They've asked some questions. They've spread the ball.
You said it there, Corey. They've played with some width, and when the Cowboys play with some width, they're so much more dangerous. A bit of strike on the edge. It's great to see.
18 plays 16 now. 2 unanswered tries to the Cowboys, and Scott back into them. SA there was Saifiti. Possession has swung right around. In fact, the Cowboys have had the greatest share of the ball now through 55 minutes of play. We had at 80-20 at one stage to the Knights in the first half. Hampton! Ben Hampton's off! Rolls into the tackle. He's lost the ball. Loses the ball at the end of it. He's been injured as well.
He's got an accidental knee from Kalen Ponga right in the back.
Time off.
He slid into the tackles. Terrific run off the back of a Taumalolo. Play the ball, split the markers, come back through the A's.
Yeah.
Sorry, mate.
He just caught an accidental knee.
Thanks, kid.
Right in the kidney region.
Total accident that is going to be more than sting.
Mate, I get it, but I've already called loss. I have called loss, I get it.
Galen appreciates or realises the situation there. His former Cowboys teammate.
Unfortunate thing for Hampton there is he lets go of the ball. Obviously in extreme pain. They're definitely on the hunt again, the Cowboys.
Not yet halfway through your Friday night of Rugby League. Bulldogs and Tigers coming up next. The Professor's farewell tour to follow that. And that then launches us into a Super Saturday that'll finish tomorrow night down in Melbourne with a Storm against the Raiders. And then Sunday, we get to the Warriors and the Titans. The Warriors have won their last 7 games on the Gold Coast. They've won 14 of the last 15 against the Titans. We'll see if that run can continue on Sunday. But then, arguably, the match of the round, Roosters and Dragons to finish right here on Fox League on Sunday. What an absolute belter that will be.
He's going to leave the field. Ben Hampton. Jake Granville will come back on. It's a painful spot, Bossy, to get hit. Ruben Wiki got me 1 game. Accidentally. In inverted commas.
Sure.
Very painful space.
Yeah, well, such is the pain, he can barely walk here. I hope that he gets cleared of any potential serious damage on the back of that. It was a big run by Hampton. And, they'll be hoping that Granville can come straight on and do the same. Brent Tate on the sideline.
Yeah, well, Jake Granville's going to replace Benny Hampton, and I hope the message that comes down from Paul Green is to Jake Granville is to run the football. As I said in the first half, it's such a different team when he runs the ball, and the Knights are looking a little sloppy around the middle of the field, so it's a great opportunity for Granville to take off and run from dummy half.
Cowboys right at the moment, Tatey, are at their season average points per game. They have average scoring 16. that's where they are at. Would one more try for the Knights be enough, perhaps? Now Barnett with it. And Clifford got up in his face there with Hess. And a penalty conceded by the young 5'8". Barnett, I barely saw him take the tap. He just picked up the ball and they said play on. So I assume he tapped it. 40 metres out from the line, Guerra with it. And he is now 30 from the Cowboys line. Been a while since they've had territory down this end of the park. There's Pearce for Cogger. And again, a better line presented there. Thurston and Cooper making the tackle. Saifiti inside the 20. Cogger and Ponga got past one. He squeezed past Clifford there. Fourth tackle. Knights in possession in front of the posts. But this time they're up on SASA. Granville was there with Cooper and Scott. Last play, Bura for Pearce, deciding to run. Ponga's ball is not good. Behind Kenny Seo, the Cowboys have hung on in a set inside their own 20.
Well, there's much better defence from the Cowboys. Big concern in that first half, their goal line D. They were able to get up to the 10-metre line. Kalen Ponga doesn't find his mark with his pass. You mentioned about the Cowboys, Vossi, at their average for points. Well, the Newcastle Knights, they concede an average of 26. So if both teams stick to their average.
That's a good point. It is the worst defence in the league. Points per game conceded. So you'd like to think the Cowboys can better their attacking average against that sort of defence, but the Knights have improved the last couple of weeks. Now Scott with it. Right at the moment, possession is exactly 50-50 for the Knight. 8 incomplete sets for the Cowboys, 7 for the Knights. Now last play with Martin. Had time to kick. Ponga's across to it. Close to the sideline, let it bounce. And it's out on the full, in fact.
And that just releases the pressure valve. He had plenty of time to kick that ball to Murray Martin. Tried to get Ponga in the corner. Just bit too much off.
Judged it well, Ponga there. So it gives the Knights a nice little piggyback upfield. Ross taking that run inside the Cowboys half. 2 tackles into the set. SASA has been very strong for them. Bura now. Pearce. And the setup is good. Cogger delivering the ball. But better defence again, Thurston on Fitzgibbon. They've marked him in the second half. Big improvement. Pearce got a dribbling pass to gather in. Ponga ends up with it. He's spun around. That's the end of his run. Chris Hyington has entered the play for the Knights. SASA off the field. Last tackle, Newcastle. Pearce, a kick back, looking for Ross. Here he comes. And Martin is there for North Queensland. Not for the first time tonight. 21 and a half to go. It's going to be a hard-fought 2 points won here tonight. Cowboys won a 3-game winning streak against their opponents. You could say that was then, this is now. Limit to play. And McLean back for his second stint in the match. 5 tackles gone for the Cowboys, and this time Clifford, I think he got a little lucky. That was a lot closer to the sideline than the original intention, I would have thought.
He was going for the banana kick there, Jake Clifford. Well, he put it over into the sideline, as you mentioned, Bossy.
You get flashbacks. You see this kid here. He's 20 years of age, as we see Nathan Brown on the walkie-talkie. But Clifford, he is playing alongside Jonathan Thurston. He gets to make his debut. Thurston's 3.18. You think back to 2001, the big names you played alongside when you came into the Brisbane organisation.
Yeah, it's a wonderful game. I saw a photo during the week of Jake Clifford and Jonathan Thurston. Jake Clifford, I think he was 7.
Yeah.
In that photo.
Meeting his hero. It must be imposing, and for a young forward like yourself back in 01, you come into the Brisbane organisation. It would have been pretty daunting to be coached by Wayne Bennett, I think, the first time you meet Wayne. And now the Knights make a mess of that. Saifidi. They've gone right off the boil, Newcastle here. Not quite sure where their points are. Well, apart from Ponga, I don't know where their points potentially come from here.
Yeah, they were good in the first half with their ball control. They've struggled to get out of their own end. In the opening 20 minutes in this second half. And the Cowboys, what can they throw at them?
We'll go down to the sideline. Brent Tate, what's the story with Ben Hampton?
Yeah, boys, obviously rib injury. Was very slow at the tunnel tonight. He won't be back, so bad news for Cowboys fans.
Well, there's still a chance here. They're 29 metres away from the Knights line. Martin on to McLean. Centre ground with Bolton. Sam Malolo's lurking in the background. He's only had a night where he's made 85 metres. As Clifford turns McLean inside that time. Incredible, if you watch the first half, to think that the Cowboys could be leading this game with 18 to go. That may be the case in a moment. Thurston passing. It calls on a try-saving tackle. Guerra provided it on Cooper. Granville for Malolo close to the line. Just able to stop him there. And a diving pass from Granville. All hands on deck. They watch it go dead. Ponga. Well, he must. He's got to have a cool head if he didn't get a touch to that one.
I reckon we're going to have a look at this one, Bossy. He's composure there.
You got this, HS? Having a look?
I don't think he touched it for mine.
Time on. Knock on, Justin O'Neill. We're out to the 20.
Well, they've already looked at it, the bunker. They said knock on by Justin O'Neill.
Take this. Okay, we'll go one.
That's the right call. That's a big play from Ponga. His composure to watch the ball go over the dead ball line. O'Neill does get a hand to it. It's the right call.
Touches it with his foot over the line, O'Neill. So Cowboys having to defend with the Knights returning to the 20. But they have stalled in terms of scoring points, the Knights. In fact, you'd say they don't even look likely to score points. And I don't think 18 is going to be enough. Hyington with the ball now. Chalking up his 334th appearance of his career tonight. Knights have used all their bench players, likewise the Cowboys now. Saifidi and Pearce. Cooper there on Bura. Now Cogger and Pearce down that right edge that time, but that is where the Cowboys have really tidied up. And Thurston, to his credit, has probably led that after some bad misses in the first half. Pearce's ball high. Martin jumps early. Well, he was back on the ground before he actually caught the ball.
A little bit more urgency in what the Cowboys are doing. Jason Taumalolo made it personal to get out at Pearce. We see in the replay box. Tomorrow Martin comes up, wonderful catch.
16 and a half to go. And Kyle Felt now has the ball in the centre of the park. They've won only 4 games this year. The North Queensland Cowboys, McLean on the run, and that's a good run. And at the end of it, he loses the ball. It was a hard-charging, big, striding front rower. Somewhere there, the ball has bobbled out. He couldn't regather. Well, he probably has an argument that he did hang on to it.
Okay, let's get one more here.
Knights have been given the scrum feed.
Another one here, Cowboys. Cowboys. Another one.
Not happy with that decision.
Okay.
Levi getting ready to come back on for the night, and well, let's stop. They've got to
back until they get the ball.
No, he's got to go off.
I'll take it. He's got to go off. Yeah, he's got to go off. I'll take it, Tony.
Bossy, you know my thoughts on this.
He's a member of the attacking team, Tony. He's a member of the attacking team. He has to go off.
What are we doing? He's jumped back to his feet. He's okay.
Well, I don't know the great protocol or whatever, but I say, Henry, I'm giving you 3 Dally M points for saying, let's get this show back on the road.
You can obviously come on after you get the ball. It's once you get the ball back. Let's go. You can run without one. Jamie, you can play without one, mate. Okay, let's go.
Fitzgibbon has gone over the sideline to receive treatment.
All the way in.
I'm confused about all of this.
Ball in. Come on.
He's off the field on the far side of the ground. And now he's run back on. He was sent to the naughty corner. That's a bit of quiet time.
That's bizarre.
What an amazing moment in the game there.
Ridiculous.
Bureau off, Levi is on. Fitzgibbon's okay. Don't have to alert the priest, he's okay. Knights 5 metres inside the Cowboys half. And Pearce for Barnett. Not the energy we saw from the Knights attack in the first half. This is Hyington. If the Cowboys can keep working hard, they may secure a rare win. Pearce to bomb. The kick out towards O'Neill's wing. Here comes Sean. Kenny Dowell. Oh, he had it. I reckon he had a real chance at that.
He come from a long way, Sean Kenny Dowell. He goes up. He gets above O'Neill. Just goes straight through him. The Cowboys are responding with their defence. They have stiffened it up. There's no doubt about that, and it's keeping them in the game.
Granville back on that run. Now into the final 15 minutes we go. Hess takes a run. 18 points to 16. The flow of penalties has completely stopped in the match. Asiata, this time it's Taumalolo who loses the ball. They're all taking a turn tonight. Some of their biggest names have come up with mistakes. The Knights have possession, but they still need to do a little more. Ross with the run. Ziada and Granville in defence. Levi, Pearce, Cogger on Fitzgibbon, firing it out to Kenny Dowell. And getting into a wrestle there with O'Neill and Thurston and Cooper. 25 from the line. The Knights with Cogger. Pearce again to centre ground with Hyington. Not able to offload and keep it going. They wanted it on the outside. It comes a little late now. Pearce. And Ponga injects himself into the play. Beats Chuala twice. This is the last tackle. And the ball is lost. Penalty. Penalty conceded on tackle 5.
Absolute coach killer. Ponga gets up smiling, rightly so.
What did happen there? You be the judge on the replay.
Oh. His hand was in and around the ball. The discipline has been an area of concern in 2018.
That was the perfect storm. They were both looking to free their arms at exactly the same second.
Stand up with it. Go.
And the ball came loose. Levi. And this is a chance there. Hyington with 1 try next to his name this year. And that's like a streak for him. Levi for Pearce now. And this time Fitzgibbon offloaded Cogger. It was just clipped on. Kenny Dowell goes back for it. The Newcastle attack is about 10 lengths away from where it was at in the first half. It's a bit of a shambles now. 4 tackles into this set. If it goes for 20, they'll end up back on halfway. Natalia is held. Last tackle. Cogger Pearce with the ball, a kick at the end of it. He's looking for CO. Felt knocks it down. It'll be a Knights scrum fee. I give them 2 out of 10 for the set, but they get a result from a kick.
Well, he's come up with some wonderful takes in 2018, as Kyle Felt has. It was quite an easy take by his standard. Unable to do so. 11 minutes remaining in this match.
Let's get 6. Knights, let's go. 13 seconds.
Kane.
Bulldogs and Tigers not too far away. Your second game on this Friday night on Fox League. But we've still got a bit to work out here. Cogger, a little scrum play. Ponga, that ball just goes straight up in the air. Well, I have no idea what happened.
It should restart. It come off Thurston. Yep.
And there it is. Big ricochet off JT. Hyington spinning into the defence again. Cooper and McLean there. This is Levi. Decoy runners aplenty. Pearce with a step off the right. Good tackle, Asiata and Cooper. Levi, they try it nice and close. For Guerra, one of the try scorers from the first half. Levi again trying the right, pushed along by Ponga, and the Cowboys desperate. O'Neill comes up with a play. Did I say 10 lengths where they were in the first half? Make that 20.
And that was a wonderful play from Justin O'Neill, rather. His urgency to get to that ball is exactly what the Cowboys needed, and they're up over the 40. A real momentum swing for the Cowboys.
The Knights' attack has been turned off here. McLean with the ball. Thurston. Here come the Cowboys. Thurston, the ball's hit the deck. Pearce comes up with it for the Knights. This is becoming a frustration fest. Oh, the referee's down. Hess has run in to Henry Perinara and bowled him over. And Henry, in running back onside, gives Cohen Hess a little pat on the back and said, all's fair in love and war. Former Dragon and Eel, Henry Perinara.
Tackle to Daniel Safidi.
Looked pretty heavy. It wasn't quite Tony Carroll on Tony De La Setas, but it's a hit all the same. You watch it.
Yeah,
and he goes, nothing funnier.
Clipped him on the way through the Hess Express.
What if Henry got up swinging? Flashback to his playing days.
Come on, mate.
Someone said, Henry, you're not a player anymore.
He's out the
The
back.
ball controllers has fallen away for both sides in the last 15 minutes.
We're going here.
Tackle 2.
We're going here.
We're at 21 errors for the match, Vossi.
Now, he's saying play on him. Well, hang on a second. The first half, Mitchell Pearce was being treated with a bandage. We stayed off. Now Saifidi, we're playing time on. Henry's rewriting the book here. He's sick of it. He's saying no more time offs. I'm marching the streets with Henry Perinara. Hyington's got the ball here. He offloads. Pearce trying to go through the centre. To another player with a head bandage, Saifidi. 18 plays 16. 8.5 to go. It's keeping you watching, that's for sure. It's not perfect. Nowhere near it, but it's quite gripping. Last tackle play here. Levi, they've got a lot of statues there in front of the line. Pearce dabs it in goal. And the ball is slapped into the fence.
And that's the experience of Mitchell Pearce. It wasn't a good set by any means, but the finish to the set means they'll get the ball back and keep the pressure applied to the Cowboys. Will they go short here, the Cowboys?
Have they had a good set of 6 in the second half, the Knights? I ask that honestly. Have they had a good set of 6?
Well, Brownie's message was to keep doing more of the same that we did in the first half. No one was listening.
That head bandage didn't last long on Saifidi. You can buy that on eBay as worn by Daniel. It's gone. Hyington with the ball. Field goal of no use. 18-16 scoreline. 7.5 to go. No points in the second half to the Knights. Pearce on to Ponga. And not able to beat the tackles he did in the first half. He was almost untouchable. Now Levi darts off, gets it away. Barnett, well, I think he'd clocked off. May even have an injury. He didn't want the ball. He's ended up with it, but was not prepared to run. He's got a problem with his jaw there. Pearce offloading the Cogger. And Fitzgibbon again, Thurston on him. They couldn't stop Fitzgibbon in the first half. Down short side, Matautia. Last tackle play, and the Cowboys gallant here. Able to hang on.
Well, they hang on, Vossi, but the Newcastle Knights, they've just lost their way with their attack.
Well, I was almost half joking that they mightn't score, but I'm now supremely confident they won't score in this second half. Who would want to be a coach? Because the Knights were so good, in particular, the first 20 minutes of the night. You think they're going to win 40-0. Now they haven't scored again. Is it two different sides? Granville with the ball. And the Cowboys back towards halfway.
Well, boys, Danny Levi's picked up a hamstring injury. The Cowboys are smart. They'll be aiming some attack there. He can hardly run.
Yeah, Martin's kick there, fielded by Ponga. With it back. Yeah, Levi, he's fallen over the sideline as he came off. Saifiti's off as well. SA and Bura back into the play. There's Denny Levi, he's gone. Cramp's got him, big time. Knights. Now Kenny Dow's lost it as well. He laid an egg, but he fell. They don't say play on for the Cowboys. If the Knights win, this will be one ugly 2 competition points.
The Cowboys, they've been given an opportunity. They would have liked that to be played on with Asiata. There was some space out to this left-hand side. Can the Cowboys mount any sort of pressure with 4 minutes 50 remaining?
Well, the Cowboys haven't kept a side scoreless in a second half this year, not once. The last time they did it was round 20 last year against the Warriors. And yet they still might come up short. I've seen Newcastle play better and get beaten by 20. Martin is swamped there. Fitzgibbon got him with Matautia. Now on for Cooper. Penalty would be interesting. Taken to 18 all and golden point. Here's Granville. He had support. He didn't give it to McLean. 12 out from the line. 4 minutes to go. It's been a tough old season for the Cowboys. Now they've got a sniff. Cooper is held there. 7 away. They're long-suffering fans. They've lost 5 in a row at home, the Cowboys. Taumalolo with the ball. It's been a moderate night by his standards for making ground. He's only just topped the 100-metre mark. Thurston now with it. Asiata with a juggle. Another juggle on the outside. Linnett was able to gather it in. Cooper dummy half. Thurston thought about kicking. Delivered a low pass. And Clement was losing it and kicked it sideways. He was in the process of losing the ball and still managed to get his foot to kick it at right angles across field.
Unfortunately, Vossi, that sums up the Cowboys season. That set of 6 right there.
Well, Corey, there was a joke going around at half-time, being old boys like, there it is. Well, he dropped it, actually. They were saying, how do you think the Cowboys of 2018 would go against the old boys of 95? And someone said, well, that's ridiculous. The old boys are now in their 50s, but they'd go close. You know, it's just remarkable the way the Cowboys, at their best form of last year, put the Knights to the sword. I reckon they would beat them by 30. That's the difference of how far they are away from the confidence they once had. And Newcastle's a different kettle of fish. I can't describe their second half to their first half at all. You're smarter than me to try and work that one out.
I'd love a penalty here, the Cowboys.
Felt with it. If you watch the Super League on Fox League this morning, there was a 55-metre goal after the siren for St Helens to beat Warrington by the Saints halfback Danny Richardson, a 55-metre goal after the siren. Asiata's got the ball. Thurston, back in for Martin. Forward pass to Cooper. They've allowed it. Cooper's gone over. Cooper has scored for North Queensland. They've hit the front for the first time in the game with 2 minutes to go. Unbelievable.
We spoke about it, Jonathan Thurston. He just keeps coming at you. Asiata, beautiful little set of hands here. Straightens up the play. Thurston on the out, into Tamari Martin, who's been good tonight. Marginal pass to Cooper, back on the inside. And the Cowboys. They have look to have thrown up a game, Bossy.
No.
That
I'm trying to think of ugly wins. I mean, credit to them, but
when you're staring,
this is a swipe white game, a swipe right game.
When you're staring down the barrel of 6 straight losses, you will take ugly every
that's
day
right.
of the week.
That's right. This ends the 5-game losing streak with matches in consecutive weeks to come against the Roosters, the Broncos and the Sharks. They had to win this one.
They'll sit in the sheds after this one if they get home and look at each other and probably laugh. How did we do that?
How we do that? And Nathan Brown across the other shed, he'll be there in tears. He'll be in the fetal position because it's been abysmal. I say it again, I don't think the Knights have produced a good set of 6, not one, in the second half. Not at any point of the field have they done what was expected of them. Bulldog Tigers to come after this. Thurston misses out to the right-hand side. 20-18. The clock stops. Newcastle get one crack to try and regain the ball from a short kickoff.
Where's Sean Kenny Dow? They'll be going to him. He's over on that right-hand side. The Cowboys haven't adjusted just yet.
No, this is where you'd be pushing Kyle Feld up to try and do the catch. He's out on the left-hand side. So they're ready. 32 seconds on the clock. The Knights are all offside from the kickoff. They're in front of the kicker, and the Cowboys come down with the ball in any case. That would have been outrageous if they got the ball. Did you see it? They're all offside.
Well, it's a win. It's a win for the Cowboys and for their loyal fans that have turned up week in and week out.
Oh, Taumalola goes on a run. He just submits. Here they are. And they, maybe a metre, 2 of them out on the wing. That'll do us. The Cowboys have achieved win number 5 for the year. Paul Green, don't ask how you did it. Don't try and work it out. You'll go silly. And the Newcastle Knights, well, they're 2 different sides. The Knights are the first 20 and 25 minutes. These blokes, I don't know who they are in the second half. It's a disappointing night for Newcastle. So much good work this season. And their round 20 trip to Townsville is certainly not listed in their good work. Full time, Cowboys 20, beating the Knights 18.